Welcome, everybody. Friday grounding yoga. I'm Elly, if we haven't met yet. We'll get started here in just a moment. So as you're preparing your space, bring with you either a block, if you have one would be great. If not, of course, any comfortable object that you can place underneath your back will work. So that can be a cushion or a pillow of some sort, or a rolled up towel or a blanket. So once you have that, you can meet me back on your mat. And we can go ahead and get started. So place your block or your cushion or whichever object is, soft, comfortable object that you've chosen. Place it towards the top of your mat. It'll go underneath your shoulder blades. So for the block, if you're using a block, I would suggest the lowest setting today, since you're heavily resting on the floor. Of course, you could just lay flat on your mat and it's perfectly a good option. So bring your block towards the top of your mat. Bring your shoulder blades just resting on your block or your cushion. Rest your head on the mat. And then bring the soles of your feet together to touch. Allow your knees to fall open wide. Arms by your side, palms face up. And you can choose a different leg position if this isn't working for you. You're also welcome to prop your knees up with cushions or blocks. Pillows, if the stretch is either too intense or maybe you're hypermobile in your hips and you need extra support, any reason at all, just make it feel comfortable in your body. And then once you find this posture that is working for you right now, allow yourself to arrive in your space. Become fully present in what you are experiencing right now. So sense how your shoulder blades feel. Touching the block or the ground or the cushion beneath you. Which part of your head is touching the floor. Notice the temperature in your arms as they touch the floor. And connect this present moment with a sense of letting go. So surrender to the space that you're in. Surrender to the present. Allow yourself to be open to receive. And connect this to a sense of gratitude. Bring your awareness to your breathing. And notice the sensation in the front of your body, so in your chest and your ribs, this gentle expansion. Notice how those sensations change as you inhale or as you exhale. So as we move throughout practice today, keep connecting to the sense of letting go, surrender, and gratitude. Keep your attention on your breath. And find acceptance for where you are today. So as we are moving through different postures, find the one that fits you best. So if you need to find a different modification, whether that be more challenging or maybe pull back a little bit, accept that that is where you are right now. Again, connected to your gratitude. Deepen your breath. Slowly start making your way off to one side for fetal position. Either side is okay. Use your bottom arm as your pillow. And then set your block or your cushion off to the side. Gently press yourself up to a seat. So find a comfortable seat. You could sit on your block or your cushion if that works better for you, or maybe bring some extra support underneath your knees. So whatever works for you. You can also sit on your heels if that works better. So place your hands somewhere in your lap, palms face down today. Close your eyes. Keep observing your deep breath. So today we're working with Ujjayi Pranayama, or Ujjayi breath, breath of victory. You can engage this breath by constricting the muscles in the back of your throat. So like you're saying the letter H, or you are trying to fog up a mirror. Then seal your lips and create that same sensation in and out your nose. So deep inhales, even deep exhales. Keep listening and observing the sound that your breath makes. Find length in your spine. And then gently open your eyes, keeping this breath engaged. So let's take a gentle neck stretch. So drop your right ear towards your right shoulder, keeping your head facing forward. So if you'd like, you can bring your left fingertips to the mat and maybe reach them far away from you, just to increase the stretch a little bit. Think of drawing your shoulders really gently away from your ears. So having a really long side stretch in your neck. Make it gentle, be careful. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, gently roll your chin towards the center of your chest, gaze down towards your heels, and bring your left hand back to your thigh, your lap. Keep breathing here. Take an inhale. Exhale, gently gaze forward in the center. Taking a neck stretch to the other side. Drop your left ear to your left shoulder. You can keep your hands here, or maybe walk your right fingertips on the mat away from you. Let's avoid adding extra pressure with one of your hands on your head today. Take an inhale here. Exhale, gently roll your chin towards the center, being mindful. Listen to your neck along the way. Do what you need. Be careful. Draw your right hand back to your lap. Keep breathing here, gazing down towards your heels. And then lengthen your spine again. Take an inhale. Exhale, gently lift your chin. So this time, bring your right fingertips to the mat. Reach your left hand up and over. We'll take a gentle side body stretch. Keep breathing here. Find length in your spine. Keep your chest facing the side or the front of you, so the front of your mat and the side of your mat, whichever direction you're facing right now. So sometimes that might mean that you need to bring your right rib cage, your lower rib cage, slightly forward. So take an inhale here. And then exhale, face your right knee, send your left hand to the ground, gaze towards your right knee. Draw your forehead a little bit closer to your knee, so round spine here. Side body stretch, but aiming a little bit towards the back body in a really gentle twist. Slowly come up. You can use your hands to help you. Let's take the other side. So bring your left hand to the mat. Reach your right arm up and over, side body stretch. You can swap out your legs if you would prefer, whichever leg is in front. So take an inhale. Exhale, slowly turn your chest towards your left knee as you bring your top hand down towards the ground. Maybe draw your head a little bit closer to your knee. Walk your hands back towards your body and we'll come into a tabletop pose. So tabletop pose, neutral spine. So bring your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Spread your fingers really wide, pressing up all of your fingertips. Let's take cat and cow. So inhale, cow pose. Drop your belly, lift your tailbone, and gaze up towards the ceiling. Exhale, cat pose. Press the mat away. Send your spine towards the ceiling, your navel towards your spine. Gaze towards your pelvis, towards your tailbone even. Inhale, cow pose, drop your belly, lift your tailbone, and gaze towards the ceiling. Exhale, cat pose, press the mat away. You can take a micro bend in your elbows here. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Send your belly muscles towards your spine. Think of an angry cat. Tabletop pose, neutral spine. So walk your fingertips up and over to the top right hand corner of your mat. Send your hips down and back, side body stretch. Come back to center, tabletop pose. Step your shoulders over your wrists and then walk your hands all the way up and over to the other side, side body stretch. Tabletop pose, neutral spine. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. So option 2, stay here if this is enough on your wrist. Maybe you'd like to turn your fingertips to face the side of your mat. Or option 2, bring your fingertips all the way to face your thighs. So be gentle, be kind to your body. And flip your fingers back to face the top of your mat. One by one, bring the tops of your hands to the mat. Really gentle, careful not to put any extra pressure. Both of your hands back down to the mat. Take an inhale here. Exhale, child's pose, extended child's pose. Bring your knees as wide as the mat, big toes to touch, hips towards your heels, fingertips far in front of you. So extended child's pose where you are right now is always an option throughout class. So if you ever need to take a break, reconnect to your breath, reconnect to your sense of surrender and gratitude, come right back here to extended child's pose. So option to stay as you are, or maybe bring your palms together to touch in prayer and then send them towards the ceiling for a gentle tricep stretch. So be very gentle in your shoulders here. So do what you need. You can keep your arms extended. Release your palms back to the mat if you lifted your hands. Inhale, tabletop pose. Shift your weight forward. Stack your shoulders over your wrists. And then exhale, gently shift your weight a little more forward so that your shoulders are just in line with your fingertips or maybe slightly in front. Lower your hips down just a little bit here. Take an inhale. Exhale, spin your elbow points to face the backs of your mat. So your, I guess the eye of your elbow or your inner elbow is facing the front. Take another inhale. Exhale, we're lowering down for 3 counts. For 3, all the way down to your belly. In 2, and 1. So bring your forearms to the ground, to the mat in front of you, and we'll come into Sphinx pose. So work your elbows underneath your shoulders here. So today, especially since it's the beginning of class, if your feet need to be a little bit wider, do what you need. So think of sending your entire forearm down into the mat. Press down, and then expand your hands. Press your fingertips down into the mat, and think of drawing the mat towards you with your hands. You're almost gently pulling your chest forward to help lengthen your spine. Find a slight tuck to your chin, so be mindful of not looking towards the ceiling. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. And then slowly come down, draw your forehead to the mat. Bring your arms by your side, palms face up. Let's bring your left ear to the mat, gaze to the right. Bring your chin back to center. Bring your palms underneath your shoulders. Hug your elbows in towards your rib cage. This time, let's zip your legs all the way together. Press the tops of your feet down into the mat. Engage your quadriceps. Send your pelvis down. Take an inhale here. Exhale, cobra pose. Gently, slowly lift your chest. Little to no weight in your hands. Keep pressing the tops of your feet down into the mat. Think of extending your spine longer. Lift just a tiny bit higher. You can test the weight in your hands. It's okay if there is a little bit of weight there. Take another inhale. Exhale, this time bring your right ear to the mat, arms by your sides, palms face up. Allow your heels to fall open. Return your chin back to center, palms underneath your shoulders, press up into a tabletop pose. And then curl your toes under. So I'll give you this option. We're going to go into a child's pose with your toes tucked. Otherwise, if you'd like to take a child's pose with your toes untucked, that is perfectly fine. So sending your hips back towards your heels, forehead towards the mat. Just stretching the backs or the bottoms of your feet. Tabletop pose is where we're headed next. Hands underneath your wrist. Untuck your toes. So really brief spinal balance here. Send your left toes behind you. Option to stay here. Option to hover your right heel so it's parallel, your leg is parallel to the floor. Option to stay here or send your right fingertips. You're here for 3. Switching sides in 2. And 1. Mindfully release your palm underneath the mat. Let's take the other side. So shift your weight towards your left knee as you send your right toes behind you, and then try to keep your equally press into both hands. Option to stay here, hover your heel so that your leg is parallel to the floor. Maybe stay here or send your left fingertips towards the top of your mat. Engage your lower belly towards your spine. You're here for 3. Tabletop pose in 2. And 1. Mindfully release your left hand down to the mat. Take an inhale here. Exhale, downward facing dog, curl your toes under, send your hips high. Spread your fingers really wide. You can find movement or stillness. First down dog. And then let's all meet in stillness for downward facing dog. So bend your knees as much as you need. Bring your arms about shoulder width distance apart. Spread your fingertips. Press in your entire hands, including all of your fingertips. So alleviate some of that pressure from your wrist. Broaden the space between your shoulder blades. So think of spinning your armpits to face each other. Face your ears to look at your face. Draw your heels towards the mat. They do not need to touch. Your feet are about hip width distance apart. Engage your quadriceps, lift up in your pelvic floor, engage your lower belly. Keep breathing here. Send your tailbone a little higher towards the ceiling. Inhale, look to your hands. Exhale, slowly walk to the top of your mat. Feet hip-width distance apart. Ragdoll pose. Bend your knees as much as you need. Interlace your arms. You can find movement or stillness here. Allow gravity to aid you in the stretch. Switch out the grip in your arm so your opposite arm will be on top. Return your palms to the mat so you can keep your feet hip-width distance apart or choke your feet together to touch. It's up to you. Bend your knees a lot and slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. Head will be last to arrive at the top. Inhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Reach both arms high. Exhale, Samastiti, hands at heart center. Release your arms by your side, palms face forward. Also a mountain pose. Inhale, Tadasana, reach both arms high. Listen, exhale, chair pose with airplane arms. So bend your knees a lot, send your tailbone low, reach your fingertips far behind you, palms face down. Hold here, keep breathing, gaze down at your feet. You should be able to see your toes, so if not, send your tailbone a little bit down and back more. So glide your weight towards your heels. Engage your stomach muscles, lift your chest just a little bit here, draw your shoulder blades away from your ears and then towards one another. Keep breathing here. Inhale, chair pose, so keep your legs as they are, maybe even sit a little bit lower as you reach your arms high. Inhale. Exhale, airplane your arms, send your fingertips behind you, palms face down, shoulder blades towards one another. Inhale, mountain pose, lengthen your knees, reach your arms high. Listen, exhale, baby back bend, goalpost your arms, elbows at a 90-degree angle, lift your chest, gaze towards the ceiling, engage your stomach to help support you. Inhale, mountain pose, reach both arms high overhead. Exhale, forward fold, hinge from your hips. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Hold here, keep breathing. Think of drawing the mat away from you. So think of pulling your heels towards the back of your mat to help engage your hamstrings just a little bit here. Lengthen your spine, lower belly in. Little to no weight on your hands. They can be on your shins or your thighs. Of course, if you need support, use it. So protecting your lower back. Take another inhale. Exhale, high plank. Bend your knees a lot. Plant your palms underneath your shoulders. Step your feet way behind you. Heels, hips, and head in one line. Lower down to your knees. Keep spinning your elbows toward the back of your mat. Shift your weight forward. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Inhale, cobra pose. Zip your legs all the way together. Tops your feet into your mat. Lift your chest, little to no weight in your hands. Exhale, lower your chest. Tabletop pose, child's pose, spread your knees wide, send your hips back. Take an inhale and an exhale. Inhale to tabletop, shift your weight forward, step your shoulders over your wrists. Exhale, downward facing dog, curl your toes under as you send your hips high. Inhale, look to your hands. Exhale, travel to the top of your mat. Bring your feet in between your hands. They can come all the way together to touch or be hip width distance. Inhale, halfway lift, listen. Exhale, we're going to move into a low lunge. So shift your weight into your right foot. You can bend your right knee as much as you need. Send your left toes far behind you. Drop down to your back knee. Crescent moon, lift your chest, and reach your arms high. So you can keep your back toes tucked or untucked. Bring your hands to your front thigh if that feels better for you, or you can keep your arms extended overhead. Press your front foot down into the mat. Take an inhale. Exhale, half splits, plant your palms, shift your hips back. Straighten your front knee as much as is accessible in your body. Do what you need, be gentle with yourself. Low lunge, shift your weight forward, bend your front knee, curl your back toes under, lift your back knee, ground your left palm down into the mat for a gentle twist. Inhale, reach your right fingertips high, so twist towards your front leg, engage your inner thighs towards one another, keep breathing. Maybe even gaze towards your top hand. Take another inhale. Exhale, plant your right palm, inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog, send your right foot back to meet your left. Inhale, look to your hands. Exhale, travel to the top of your mat, we'll take the other side.
Inhale, halfway lift, long spine, draw your heels towards the back of your mat, little to no weight in your hands. Exhale, low lunge, this time shift your weight towards your left, bend your knee as much as you need, step your right toes behind you. Crescent moon, drop down your back knee, lift your chest and reach your arms high overhead, or bring your hands to your front thigh. Press your front foot down into the mat. Bring your awareness again to your breath. Your steady breathing in and out your nose. Take an inhale. Exhale, half splits, plant your palms, shift your hips back, flex your front foot. Take what you need here. So bend your knee as much as you need. You might be up on your fingertips, that's okay too. Low lunge, shift your weight forward, bend your front knee, curl your back toes under, lift your back knee, ground your right palm, gentle twist. Inhale, reach your left hand high, twist towards your front leg, engage your inner thighs towards one another. Activate your right quadricep. Take another inhale here. Exhale, plant your left palm. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale. Deep exhale. Inhale to high plank. Shift your weight forward. Stack your shoulders over your wrists, hips, heels, and head in one line. Take another inhale. Exhale, lower your knees down to the mat for tabletop pose. We're going to take a modified side plank. So shift your weight towards your right knee just a little bit as you send your left toes behind you. Spin your heel down towards the mat and lift your left fingertips high. Ground down through your right hand. So great option right here. If you'd like to take it a little bit further, come to the knife edge of your right foot and stack your feet. So in either variation, options you stay here or maybe hover your your left heel. Keep breathing here for 3. Tabletop pose in 2. And mindfully make your way out. Plant your left knee and your left palm. Let's take the other side. Send your right toes behind you. Ground down through your left hand. Spin your right heel down to mat. Inhale, reach your right fingertips high. Hold here, keep breathing. So modified side plank. Option to take another variation if that serves you better. Option to stay here or maybe hover your right heel. Could even come parallel to the mat. You're here for 3. Tabletop pose in 2. And 1. Mindfully plant your right hand and your right knee. Take an inhale to curl your toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send your hips high. 3-legged dog on the right side. Inhale, reach your right heel high. Hold here. Keep breathing. Keep your hips square. Take another inhale. Exhale, low lunge. Step your foot in between your hands. You can take your hand to your shin to help bring your foot forward. Crescent lunge is where we're headed next. So inhale, lift your chest. Reach your arms high overhead. Hold here. Keep breathing. So square your hips. Left hip forward, right hip back. Engage your left quadricep. Working towards a 90-degree bend in your front knee. This time, think of also stacking your back heel over your back toe, so you might need to come up just a little bit. Keep lengthening your spine. Inhale here. Exhale, crescent lunge with airplane arms. So send your chest forward. Feel a slight cobra pose here. So a gentle lifting your chest as you draw your shoulder blades towards one another. Keep breathing. Keep squaring your hips. Maybe sink a little lower in your front knee. Inhale, crescent lunge, reach both arms high. Listen, exhale, low lunge, plant your palms. Downward facing dog, send your right foot back to meet your left. 3-legged dog on the left side. Inhale, reach your left heel high. Keep your hips square. Again, spin your shoulders in to face one another, your armpits rather. Take another inhale here. Exhale, low lunge, step your foot in between your hands. Maybe use your hand to help get it there. Each foot should have its own lane like you're on skis. Inhale, crescent lunge, lift your chest, and reach your arms high overhead. Square your hips, so right hip forward, left hip back. Stack your back heel over your back toes. So you might need to come up just a little bit, engage your right quadricep to help lengthen that back knee a little bit more. Working towards a 90-degree bend in your front knee. Take an inhale here. Exhale, crescent lunge with airplane arms. So shift your chest forward as you glide your arms behind you. Slight cobra pose in your chest. Engage your right quadricep. Keep squaring your hips. So right hip forward, left hip back. Use your stomach muscles to help support you. Keep lengthening your spine. Inhale, crescent lunge, reach both arms high. Exhale, low lunge and downward facing dog. Plant your palms, step your left foot behind you. Take an inhale. And an exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Three-legged dog on the right side. Inhale, reach your right toes high. Exhale, low lunge, step your foot in between your hands. Inhale, crescent lunge. You've been here before. Lift your chest, reach your arms high. Listen, exhale, warrior one. Spin your back heel down to the mat as you keep your hips square to the front of the mat. So for me, I like my warrior ones a little bit wider. So maybe toe heel your front foot to the top or out to the outer edge of your mat a little bit more, or maybe find heel to heel alignment and then square your hips, left hip forward, right hip back. Everybody's a little bit different in this posture because of hip anatomy. Press into the outer edge of your back foot as you sink a little lower into your front knee. Take an inhale here. Exhale, warrior two, readjust your feet. Reach your arms wide. So for warrior two, about heel to arch alignment as a reference point. You can also do heel to heel. Maybe even a little wider if that feels better. Step your shoulders over your hips. Inhale, reverse triangle. Lengthen your front knee as you reach your right arm high. Find a micro bend in your front knee. Activate your inner thighs towards one another. So stay out of your hyperextension in your front knee. Try to bunch up the mat in between your feet. Take another inhale. Exhale, extended side angle. Rebend your front knee. Send your right elbow to your front thigh and reach your left arm towards the ceiling. You can gaze straight toward the side wall, maybe down at the mat, or all the way up towards your top hand. Star pose. Heels in, toes out. Lengthen your front leg facing the side of your mat. Reach your arms wide. Take an inhale here. Exhale, horse pose. Hands at heart center. Hold here and breathe. So gaze down at your feet. So ensure that your knees and your toes are facing the same direction. If your knees are a little bit in front, maybe turn your feet in just a little bit more. So be honest that the turnout here, the external rotation is coming from your hips and not from beneath the shin. So really protect your knees there. Inhale, star pose. Lengthen your knees, engage your inner thighs, reach your arms high. Exhale, warrior two. Readjust your feet towards the front of the mat. Inhale, reverse warrior. Keep the deep bend in your front knee as you reach your arms high, your right arm high. Exhale, low lunge. Spin your palms down to the mat. Downward facing dog. Send your right foot back to meet your left. Take an inhale here. And an exhale. You're always welcome to take a child's pose. Inhale. Exhale. Three-legged dog on the left side. Inhale, reach your left toes high. Exhale, low lunge. Step your foot in between your hands. Inhale, crescent lunge. Lift your chest as you reach your arms high. Exhale, warrior one. Spin your back heel down to the mat. Keep your hips square. So find the stance that you need. And I like mine a little bit shorter and wider. Keep breathing here. Keep squaring your hips. Press into the outer edge of your back foot. Spin your right hip a little more forward. Take an inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Readjust your feet. Find your alignment. So maybe heel to heel, maybe heel to arch. Gaze over your front hand. Really long arms here. Inhale, reverse triangle. Lengthen your front knee. Micro bending your front knee as you engage your inner thigh. Keep breathing. Take another inhale. Exhale, extended side angle. Rebend your front knee. Left elbow to your thigh. Reach your right arm high. Keep breathing here. You're always welcome to hover your right fingertips Bringing your left tricep to your inner left thigh. Star pose, heels in, toes out. Reach your arms wide, face the side of your mat. Exhale, horse pose, hands at heart center. Stack your shoulders over your hips again. Be honest with your turnout, so maybe your feet need to be turned in just a little bit so that your knees and toes are in the same line. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, warrior two, readjust your feet to the front of the mat. Inhale, reverse warrior, reach your left arm high, keep the deep bend in your front knee. Exhale, low lunge, circle your palms down to the mat. Downward facing dog. Inhale here. And an exhale. Inhale, look to your hands. Exhale, travel to the top of your mat and bring your feet in between your hands. They can be hip width distance or all the way together to touch. Bend your knees as much as you need. Inhale, halfway lift, really long spine, shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, bend your knees a lot, send your hips low as you reach your arms high. Exhale, airplane your arms right away, send your fingertips towards the back of your mat, palms face down, shoulder blades towards one another, slight cobra pose, send your hips a little more down and back if that feels okay in your knees. One-legged Tadasana, lifting your left knee high. So inhale, lift your left knee high, reach your arms overhead, straighten your right knee. Stamp your right foot down into the mat, take an inhale here. Exhale, figure four, across your left ankle over your thigh, hands at heart center, hold here, keep breathing. You're squaring your hips here, send your left hip a little more forward and your right hip back. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana, reach your left knee high as your arms reach high overhead. Listen, exhale, crescent lunge with airplane arms. So mindfully bend your front knee, step your left toes way behind you, keep your hips square to the mat, reach your left toes back. Inhale, crescent lunge, reach your arms high. Exhale, warrior one, spin your back heel down to the mat. Take an inhale here. Exhale, interlace your hands behind your back. Inhale, lift your chest, gaze up. Exhale, humble warrior. Send your chest on the inside of your front thigh. Keep squaring your hips, pressing the outer edge of your back foot. Make space for your torso on your inner thigh. Feel a gentle twisting in your back leg as you send your left hip forward and your left heel down to the mat. Take an inhale here. Exhale, release your fingertips down to the mat. Slowly, mindfully begin to lengthen your front knee if that's accessible for you in a sort of pyramid pose. You can always prop your hands up on water bottles or blocks here. Or keep your front knee bent, moving into a hamstring, side, outer hip stretch. Low lunge is where we're headed next. Rebend your front knee. And then come all the way down to your back knee. Inhale, crescent moon, untuck your toes. Exhale, hands together at heart center. Inhale, lengthening your spine and lean forward. Exhale, revolving crescent moon, left elbow outside of your right knee. If this isn't available today, maybe bring your left fingertips to the mat and reach your right arm high, or maybe one hand at heart center, so do what you need. You can always bring a block or a pillow in between your elbow and your knee. Keep breathing. Keep squaring your hips, so left hip forward, right hip back. And then keep your chest facing your front leg, but ground your left palm down into the mat directly underneath your left shoulder. Reach your right fingertips high. Take an inhale here. Exhale, modified side plank. So send your right foot towards the back of your mat, outer right edge of your foot all the way down to the mat, or take full plank if that's available to you. This time, take your right arm towards the top of your mat. So moving into a side body stretch, send your hips a little bit more towards the ceiling. Keep working a little bit more of this side body stretch. Take an inhale here. Exhale, tabletop pose. Stack your shoulders over your wrists. Let's take a child's pose. Hips towards your heels. Tabletop pose is where we're headed next. Shift your weight forward, stack your shoulders over your wrists. Exhale, downward facing dog, send your hips high. Inhale, look to your hands. Exhale, walk to the top of your mat. Bring your feet in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Bend your knees, send your hips back and down. Reach your arms high. Exhale, airplane your arms, fingertips behind your shoulder blades together. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana. Reach your right knee high this time. So ground down through your left foot. Lengthen your left knee as you reach your right knee high. Take another inhale. Exhale, figure four. Cross your right ankle over your left quadricep. Send your hips down and back, just like in chair pose. Keep your hips square, hands at heart center. Engage your abdominals, lift up in your pelvic floor. And then spread your standing leg toes really wide. Press down into the mat. Keep breathing here. Maybe your right hip needs to come forward a little bit to square your hips. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana, reach your right knee high. Exhale, crescent lunge with airplane arms. So bend your standing leg a lot. Send your right foot way behind you down towards the mat. Send your chest forward, just like cobra pose here. Keep your hips square, right hip forward, left hip back. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior one, and then find your stance. Maybe heel to heel alignment. Keep pressing with the outer edge of your back foot as you inhale. Exhale, interlace your arms behind your back, your hands rather. Take an inhale to lift your chest, gaze towards the ceiling. Exhale, humble warrior. Connect again to your sense of surrender, gratitude, being available for this present moment, available to listen to your Ujjayi breath. Inhale. Exhale, release your hands on either side of your front foot. So you can stay here with your front knee bent or slowly begin to straighten your front knee for a modified pyramid pose, or rather pyramid pose. Different version. So you can find a straight spine here if that feels better for you. As I said before, if you'd like to bring props underneath your hands, you can do so. Take an inhale. Exhale, low lunge. Come all the way down to your back knee. Uncurl your back toes. Inhale, crescent moon. Exhale, revolving crescent moon. Hands together, heart center as you lean forward, lengthen your spine. Right elbow outside your left knee. Spin your chest towards your hands. Just like on the other side, so take a variation or modification that's working for you today. So if this is, maybe your elbow does not yet reach your thigh, perhaps you can just twist your chest. You could bring a pillow underneath your elbow, or maybe take a twist with your hand on the ground. Engage your thighs towards one another. Take another inhale. Exhale, release your right arm. Ground your right hand down to the mat. Reach your left fingertips high. Take another inhale. Exhale, side plank pose. Mindfully make your way. Send your left foot back towards the back of your mat. Press into the outer edge of your back foot so your entire foot is on the mat. And then reach your left fingertips towards the top of your mat. Send your hips a little higher towards the ceiling for an increased side body stretch. Take another inhale. Exhale, tabletop pose. Child's pose, spread your knees wide, hips towards your heels, forehead to the mat. Inhale to tabletop pose, listen. Exhale, child's pose with curled toes, or tucked toes rather, if you wish. Otherwise, another child's pose as we did before. Inhale, tabletop pose. Exhale, downward facing dog, send your hips. Inhale, look to your hands. Exhale, travel to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Bend your knees, reach your arms high. Exhale, prayer twist to the right. Bring your left elbow outside of your right knee. So option to bring your elbow to your inner thigh. You can also take this with feet hip width distance apart. And the left elbow to your inner left thigh, twisting towards the right. Take an inhale here. Exhale, come center. Inhale, Tadasana, reach both arms high. Exhale, hands at heart center. Shift your weight into your right foot. We're taking tree pose. Spin your left knee towards the left side of your mat. Bring the sole of your foot to your inner shin. So you can stay here, hands together at heart center, equally pressed between your foot and your inner leg. Or maybe with your hand, you can help bring your foot a little bit higher, send your tailbone towards your heel, lift up in your pelvic floor. So just avoid your knee joint here. So foot to your inner thigh or your inner shin. Or maybe your toes are kickstanding on the mat. This is also a great option. Wherever you are, we're here for 3. Connect to your inner stillness, the movement of your breath for 2. And 1, mindfully release your left foot down to the mat. Inhale, Tadasana, mountain pose, reach both arms high. Exhale, chair pose and prayer twist towards the other side. So right elbow outside of your left knee. Every inhale, you lengthen your spine. Every exhale, spin your chest slightly more towards your hands. Use your abdominals to help you in the twist. Careful not to force anything. Be gentle and kind to yourself. Inhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Exhale, Samastiti, hands at heart center. Tree pose on the other side. Spin your right heel, or your right knee towards the right side of your mat. Bring the sole of your foot. Try to match what you did on the other side. Take the variation that you took. Equally pressed between your leg and your foot. Send your tailbone towards your heel. Again, think of stamping. You're standing like foot, so your left foot way down into the mat. Spread your toes really wide so you have a wide base to stand on. Find a steady gaze in front of you. You're here for 3. Mountain pose in 2. And 1, mindfully release your right foot down to meet your left. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, we'll meet in downward facing dog. So option to step right there by planting your palms and stepping your feet back, or maybe you take high plank in downward facing dog, or you can take chaturanga, modified chaturanga. Do what you need. Downward facing dog, take an inhale. And an exhale. Inhale, reach your right toes high. Listen, exhale, step your right foot on the outside of your right hand, so wide-legged runner's lunge. So option to stay right here. Maybe come down to your back knee. This is great too. You can come down to your forearms in either position. Also, if you would like to take a quad stretch, if your knee is down, you can reach with your right hand, so you're twisting towards your front leg. Release your back leg, plant your right palm, curl your back toes under and lift your back knee if you're not there already. High plank, send your right foot back to meet your left. Zip your legs all the way together. So we're going to take a full side plank. If you would like to do modified side plank like we did earlier, please do so. Spin your heels toward the left. So your left hand is your base. Reach your right fingertips high. Hold here for 3. High plank pose in 2. And 1. Mindfully plant your right palm down to the mat. Take an inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll take the left side right away. Inhale, reach your left toes high. Exhale, step your left foot outside your left hand, wide-legged runner's lunge. Take your variation. So perhaps you stay here on your hands. Maybe you come down to your elbows. Maybe you come down to your knees, either on your forearms or your hands. And then maybe take a quad stretch if you would like. So listen to what your body needs. Release your back foot and plant your palms, curl your left toes under and lift your back knee. High plank, left foot meets your right. Side plank, spin your heels towards the right. Reach your left fingertips high. Option to take modified side plank by bringing your bottom knee down. So we're here for 3. High plank and downward facing dog in 2 and 1. Plant your left palm down to meet your right. Take an inhale. Exhale, downward facing. Take an inhale. And an exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Gently lower your knees down to the mat or tabletop. And let's come all the way to lying on your back. So plant the soles of your feet hip width distance apart. Cross your right ankle over your left quadricep. Option to stay here. Maybe bring the entire structure a little bit closer to you. You can thread your right arm through the triangle that your leg makes. Grab behind your left thigh. Bring your left foot back to the mat. Let's take the other side right away. Left heel crosses, or left ankle crosses over your right quadricep. You could stay here, or bring the entire structure towards your chest. Flex your left foot to help protect your knee. Allow your breathing to be steady. And then release this pose. Send your left leg long, hug your right knee into your chest. Supine twist, guide your right knee across your body. And then let gravity do the work here. So be very gentle. Bring your right knee back to center. Send your right knee long and hug your left knee in. Supine twist, other direction. So guide your knee across your body. Let gravity do the work. Come back to center. Hug both knees into your chest. Take a moment here. And then gradually make your way into Shavasana. So if you'd like to put a blanket on or warm clothes, you're more than welcome to now. And then come and settle in this space on your mat. Spread your arms and legs wide. Take up a lot of space. Palms face up. Close your eyes. Again, fill yourself up with gratitude. Connect to a sense of letting go or a sense of surrender in order to accept a feeling of gratitude, graciousness, thankfulness. Scan your body for tension. Let go in any place that you're holding on to. welcome to stay here in Shavasana for as long as you'd like. If you're ready to be guided out, deepen your breath and find small movements in your body. And then roll over to one side and make your way to a seat. Slowly press yourself out to a comfortable seat. And then reclose your eyes if they have opened. Join your palms together at heart center. Exhale all of the air from your lungs. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Raise your thumbs to third eye center, this space between your eyebrows. And with lots of gratitude, we bow forward. Namaste.